Let us start with the third part of this lecture, in which we will discuss 2 and 3 factor experimental design, which are also known as factorial experiment. So, in one factor experiments or one factor experimental design, take care of one type oblique group of treatment at a time. If any researcher want to test more than one group of treatment, then more than one experiment is needed. Thereby, it requires a huge amount of resources in terms of land, in terms of money, and in terms of other input, and time also. If we have ample resources and time, and we separately plan the experiment for each group, then by investing so much money as well as time, sometimes it is not possible to get the desired information from the simple experiment. Suppose a researcher want to know not only the best treatment from each of the two set of treatments. His or her interest may also be to know what is the interaction effect of these two set of treatment. Under such situation, your single factor experiment fails to answer such questions. Suppose the researcher want to know the best variety among 5 newly developed varieties of a crop, the best dose of nitrogen fertilizer for the best yield of the same crop, and also want to know which variety among the 5 variety, which dose of nitrogen provide the best yield. So here he is interested in the interaction of varieties and doses of nitrogen or their interaction effect. So in order to answer such questions, 2 or 3 factor experiment are used, factorial experiments are used, in which more than one factor is involved. So factorial experiment are such a mechanism in which more than one group of treatment can be accommodated in single experiment. And from the experiment, we are able not only to find the treatment in each group of treatments, but also the interaction effect among the treatments in different group could be estimated. So using multi-factor experiment, of course, the effect of single factor can be easily estimated, but we have a facility of comparing their interaction effect is also possible in factorial experiment. So factorial experiment is nothing but a technique of combining 2 or more group of treatment in a single experiment, so that group-wise treatments and the combination of intergroup treatment effects could easily be estimated and compared. The experimental design to be followed remain one of the basic design, that is one factor design, CRD, RBD and Latin square. Thus, in factorial experiment, they are known as factorial CRD if we are using the randomization scheme of CRD design, factorial RBD if the allotment of treatment to various units are done in accordance with the, you can say, RBD designs or factorial LSD, depending upon the basic design adopting during the experimentation with factorial combination of treatment. So we will make all possible combination of treatment, and then these combination can be considered as a single treatment, and then we will adopt either CRD, RBD or LSD depending upon your need. So few terms I want to mention here which are used in factorial experiment. Factors and its level. So a factor in factorial experiment is a concept used to denote group of treatments. For example, if we are using cattle, then cattle is a factor. Different breed of cattle are the subsequent levels of that group. So there are lot of examples listed here. In first case, different breed of cattle, different diets, different variety, different doses of nitrogen, different method of irrigation. They are all factors. In a factorial experiment, if it is conducted with different breeds of cattle and different type of feed, then there are two factors. Breed and feed are the factors in that factorial experiment. If 5 variety of wheat are tested with 4 doses of nitrogen, here variety and doses of nitrogen are two factors in this experiment. Now we are coming on levels. Different breed of cattle and different type of feed are known as level of the factors. For example, you are using 4 breed. So these 4 breed are the level of factor breed, and feed, I am using 3 feed. Then the 3 feeds which I am using under the head feed is the level of feed. So breed and diet, they are the levels of factor breed and diet. Similarly, 5 varieties of wheat and 4 doses of nitrogen constitute the level of the factor variety and dose of nitrogen respectively. So depending upon the number of factors included in any experiment, a factorial experiment may be two-factor factorial experiment when two set of treatments, that is two factors, are used. It is three-factor factorial experiment when three set of treatments, that is three factors, are used, and it may have p-factor factorial experiment when p set of treatment or p number of factors are used. So all the factor included in the experiment may have same levels or different levels. So depending upon the number of levels, for each factor is same or different, we can categorize the factorial experiment into two parts: symmetrical factorial experiment and asymmetrical factorial experiment. So I will discuss in brief the symmetrical as well as in the asymmetrical factorial experiment and how their analysis is performed. So a factorial experiment is either symmetrical or asymmetrical depending upon the different levels for different factors. Example, if you are interested in a two-factor factorial experiment with 5 breeds and 5 different diets is a symmetrical factorial. Here the level of breeds is 5 and level of diet is also 5. So both the factor have same number of levels. That's why it is called symmetric factorial. So if a two-factor factorial experiment with 5 varieties and other than 5 doses of nitrogen are considered, means doses of nitrogen are not equal to 5. It may be 6, it may be 4, or it may be 3, it may be 2, not 5. Then such here the factor you can say Variety has 5 levels. There are 5 variety, but nitrogen levels are not equal to 5. That's why it is called asymmetrical factorial experiment. And generally symmetrical factorial experiment with m factors each at sorry with n factor each at m levels is denoted by m raised to power n factorial experiment. And asymmetrical 2 factorial experiment with p levels of first factor and q levels of second factor is denoted by p into q factorial experiment. Thus, 2 into 3 asymmetrical factorial experiment means there are two factors, first at having 2 levels, second has 3 levels. So, asymmetrical factorial experiment cannot be presented in m raised to power n form. Rather, these can be presented in the form of m into n into p into q depending upon how many factors you are using and how many levels of each factors they are using. In this case, m into n into p into q, we have n, p, q are the levels of first, second, third and fourth factors. So, in factorial experiment, there are two types of effect we want to estimate. One is main effect and other is interaction effect. The main effect of a factor is the effect of factor concerned irrespective of the level of other factor. While interaction effect are the effect of one factor with the change in level of other factor and vice versa. Well, if I am changing the level of one factor and see the consequences of that change, that is interaction effect. So, of course, there are so many advantages of using factorial experiments. These advantages are factorial experiment can accommodate more than one set of treatment or factor in an experiment. You can work out the interaction effect using factorial experiment. With the help of factorial experiment, we can save our resources as well as time. And the last one is generally we requires the maximum degrees of freedom for error. Since we are including more factor in an experiment, so this requirement of minimum degree of freedom for error components in the analysis of variance can easily be achieved. Means minimum degrees of freedom should be 12 and it may be more than 12 to get better precise result. So that can be easily achieved in factorial experiment, which is not possible in, you can say, single factor experiment. There are disadvantages. So if we increase the number of factors or level of the factor or both, then the number of treatment combination will be more, which result in the requirement of bigger plot size, bigger area, bigger block size. So as the block size increases, it is very difficult for an researcher or experimenter under field condition to maintain the homogeneity among the plots within that particular plot. Thus, there is a possibility of increasing the experimental error, due to which decrease in the precision. So, when the number of factor increases or when the number of levels of each factor increases or both increases, resulting the treatment combinations will be more, which requires more area to accommodate in a block. When block is of bigger size, then of course it is very difficult for us to maintain the homogeneity of that block. So the layout of the factorial experiment is comparatively difficult as compared to single factor experiment. Statistical procedure and calculation of factorial experiment are more complicated. Of course, when combination of treatment is there, then the computation is also bit complicated. With the increase the number of factor or level of the factor or both, the number of effects which you want to estimate will also increase. Not only effect, their interaction, particularly higher order interaction, are becomes very difficult to estimate. Risk is high. Failure in experiment may result in greater loss of information compared to single factor experiment. So these are the few disadvantages of using factorial experiment. Now I briefly introduce two factor and three factor experiment in which symmetrical and asymmetrical experiment, how you will estimate the effects and how you uh, compare the various effects with each other, levels of a factor with each other. So symmetrical factorial experiment, the simplest one is 2 raised to power 2 factorial experiment. I mean to say there is two factor each at two level. Suppose A and B are two factor, they are having two level each, 0 and 1. So there will be four treatment combination. This is 0 0. So A0 B0 can be written as A0 B0, or symbolically it is written by number 1, means A and B both are at the first level. 1 0 A1 B0, it is represented by A at second level and B at first level. 0 1 0 A0 B1, it is represented by B, A at first level and B at second level. 1 1 A1 B1, it is represented by AB, both the factor at second level. The treatment combination are denoted by small letters like 1 A, B and AB, and their total is represented by 1 A, B, AB in square bracket. The comparison A1 B1 minus A0 B1 will estimate the effect of A, since B is kept constant when B is held at higher level. Here B1 B1. The comparison A1 B0 A0 B0. Now see B0 at lower level, and it will estimate the effect of A when B is held at constant at lower level. If we take the average of these two estimates, is called the main effect of the factor A, and the difference is called the interaction effect. And mathematically you can find out the effect of A by this. This is the average of these two simple effects, and it is represented by 1 by 2 A minus 1 B plus 1. We are estimating A, that's why A minus 1. Second will be plus 1. We are estimating B, so B minus 1. You can remember like that, and A plus. You are estimating both, then both are minus. So with the help of these, you can estimate the effect A, effect B and their interaction. Now, main effect and interaction effect in 2 raised to power 2 factorial and their sum of squares. So we will make a table, factorial effect A, B and AB. Then these are the coefficients or multiplier of treatment total. Means I will, in order to estimate, I will multiply minus 1 with 1, plus 1 with A, minus 1 with B, plus 1 with AB and add, and divide it by 2R in order to get the estimate of A. And once this capital A is formed, we will square it, divide it by 4R, you will get sum of square due to A. Similarly, you can find out sum of square due to B and sum of square due to AB. AB interaction can be estimated by multiplying, you can say 1 with A, 1 minus A minus B plus AB. And once you estimate AB, then take the square of this and divide it by 4R. You are able to find out the sum of square due to this interaction event. This is the rule I have explained. These four treatment combination may be compared using, these are the four treatment combination, 1, A, B and AB. Here capital A in square bracket, capital B in square bracket, capital AB in square bracket are called factorial effect total. These four treatment combination 1, A, B and AB may be compared using either by CRD, RBD or LSD, and the analysis will be same as that of design you are considering. So here the analysis of variance table is given for 2 raised to power 2 factorial. So in this table we have sources of variation as blocks. Since we have R blocks, so R minus 1 degrees of freedom. Treatment, we have four treatment combination, A0 B0, A0 B1, A1 B0 and A1 B1. Four treatment combinations are there, so 3 degrees of freedom. This is the sum of squares due to treatment and this is mean sum of squares. Now this treatment sum of square is further divided into the main effect of A, main effect of B and their interaction effect, each at 1 degrees of freedom. And their sum of squares, as I have already mentioned, can be computed by the main effect total square divided by 4R. Main effect B total square divided by 4R and so on and so forth. This is the total sum of squares you can find out, and by subtraction error sum of square can be obtained. You can obtain the mean squares also by dividing each sum of square with respective degrees of freedom, and F can be computed for treatment for A, for B and for AB. And these F can be, since our layout is CRD, so each of these four are compared with error MS. So error MS is the divisor and you can compute this F. Now on the basis of significance of F, we can move further or we can stop our analysis here. So if F is found to be significant, then we have to calculate a standard error of testing the difference between means in case of P factors. This is the general formula. If you want to find out standard error of main effect, then it is MSC by R. And if you want to find out the standard error of interaction effect, it is twice of MSC by R. So after computing the SC, you can multiply this SC with the respective T, student T value, tabulated value of student T, and at a particular level of significance and error degrees of freedom, we can compute the CD, by which you can compare various levels of A, various levels of B and their interaction. Now 2 raised to power 3, again a symmetrical factorial experiment in which 3 factor A, B, C are there, each at 2 levels. So in total 2 raised to power 3 means 8 treatment combinations are there. These treatment are 1 A, B, AB, C, AC, BC and ABC. These 8 treatment combinations are there. They may be compared in any of the design CRD, RBD or LSD, having the same analysis as if there are 8 treatments. So these treatment combinations are considered as a treatment in any of these designs, CRD, RBD or LSD. So in 3 factor experiment, there are 3 main effects, say A, B and C. 3 first order interaction AB, AC and BC, and 1 3 factor interaction, that is ABC. So main effect of A is defined by this expression, or this can be written as, since we want to estimate A among 3 factor, so A minus 1, it divide 1 by 4, rest it is plus 1. If want to estimate B, then A plus 1 B minus 1, C plus 1. C, A minus 1, B minus 1 and C plus 1. It is not C, it is AB actually. It is AB. This is not C, that was AB because A minus 1 and B minus. Both are minus 1, that's mean AB and C is plus 1. So this is a complete table where plus minus you can use with these treatment totals, treatments combination 1 A B. If you want to find out the mean of all the treatment, means you add all the treatment grand total, divide it by 8, you will get the grand total. If you want to estimate the A effect, then uh, minus 1 plus A minus B plus AB minus C plus AC minus BC and plus ABC divided by 4, you can find out the value of A, and its square divided by 4R will give you the sum of squares due to this effect. Similarly, other effect can be computed. Very simple procedure is there. Of course, we are using nowadays computer, so you need not to worry about how you compute the sum of squares. You should know what does it mean, what is the effect actually. So we will discuss in a practical session then how will you compute these effects as well as their sum of squares. So now moving towards asymmetrical factorial experiment. So as name suggested, asymmetrical factorial experiment are those in which all the factors do not have equal number of levels. These find a wide application in agricultural, industry, animal science, for testing several factors at unequal number of levels, because there is no need of making the factors levels equal. So we have a freedom to take any levels for a factor. So first of all, we will discuss two factor asymmetrical factorial experiment. So what are the layout? So the layout I am discussing here with the help of an example. Suppose I have a two-factor factorial experiment with two varieties and three fertilizers, which are laid in RBD with 5 replications. So we have two variety and three fertilizers. So in total we have 6 treatment combination. These treatment combination are the first variety, first fertilizer, first variety, second fertilizer, first variety, third fertilizer, second variety first, second variety second, and second variety third fertilizers. They These 6 treatments are randomized in each replication separately, like this. V1 F1, in this second repli V1 F2, V2 F2, V1 F2, and so on and so forth. So you can randomize all these 6 treatment combination in each replication separately as you did in RBD. So this is the layout. Then analysis part. So there are 3 steps. First of all, you arrange your treatment V1 F1, V1 F2, V1 F3, V2 F1, V2 F2, V3 F, V2 F3. Means keep first factor same, repeat the levels of second factor. Then increase the level of first factor, repeat the levels of second factor. And in this direction R1, R2, R5. You arrange all your observations here. Then find out the total of these treatment combination in this column and find out the total of these replication totals here, and this is your grand total. Now with the help of these total you can prepare a V into F tables. This is V into F table, variety 1, variety 2, F1, F2, F3. So this is V1 F1, this observation is put here. V1 F2, V1 F2, this is F2, it is wrong, it is F2 here, V1 F3. So you make a table, then find out the sum of rows and sum of columns. The sum of rows will give you capital F1, F2, F3, means factor 1 total, factor 2 total over varieties. Similarly, capital V1 and capital V2 will give you the total of all the factors of a variety, keeping variety constant, sum over all the factors, fertilizers. So you will get V1 and V2, they are column totals and grand totals. Now, once you compute this, then compute, of course, these totals are computed and they are represented by R1, R2 and R5. And V1, V2 are the variety totals, F1, F2, F3 are the fertilizer totals. And now this is the grand total. G is the grand total. Capital N is the number of observation. R, V, and F. R is the number of replication. V is the number of variety. F levels of the variety, and F is the level of fertilizers. So 5, 2, and 3. So we have 30 number of total observations. So we can compute the correction factor by squaring this G square by N, and we can prepare the analysis of various tables. So these F are computed, these F are compared with the tabulated value, and if your tabulated calculated value is more than tabulated value, then we can reject the null hypothesis that all the treatment combinations, they are equal, and we can find out the critical differences also. Here, first of all, for computing critical differences, we have to find out the standard error of difference of varieties by this formula 2 EMS upon RF. Standard error of difference for fertilizers, it is 2 EMS upon RV, and standard difference for their interaction is 2 EMS upon R. Now, this SC is multiplied with T at alpha and error degrees of freedom. If any levels, suppose you want to compare the levels of factor A, then two levels are taken at a time and find out their absolute difference. If that difference is greater than CD for that factor, we declare that these two levels differ significantly. Similarly for interaction table also. So in factor asymmetrical factorial experiment, so it is an extension of two-factor factorial experiment. The layout is again demonstrated with the help of an example. We have two varieties V1 and V2, three fertilizer F1, F2 and F3, and two pesticides P1 and P2. They are laid out in RBD. So we have two variety, multiply by 3, 6, multiply by 2, 12. So 12 is the total treatment combinations, and total number of observations when this 12 is multiplied with 4, so 48 is the total number of observations. So total number of treatment combinations are given in this table. T1 is V1, F1, P1, T2, and all these 12 treatments, they are randomized in a single replication. Separate randomization is done in second replication. Separate randomization is done in third replication, and so on and so forth. Because we are using RBD, so for every replication, a fresh randomization must be there. So this is the layout, and in this layout, again, as in case of two-factor analysis, we prepare a table of all the treatment combination versus replications. Then we will find out the sum of all the treatment combination over the replications and list it in this column. And in this row, we will find out the sum of all the replications. And if I add either row or column, I will get grand total. So after doing this, in second step, I have to prepare three interaction table, P into V table, in which the totals as given in this table P into V table, the total here listed, V into F table, total is also computed here, and F into P, the total is compared. After preparing all these tables, we compute various total and correction factor. So R1, R2, R3, R4 are the replication total, V1, V2 are the variety totals, F1, F2, F3 are the fertilizers total, P1, P2 are the pesticides total. Then we compute the grand total adding all the observations. Then we compute the total number of experimental unit just by multiplying number of replication, number of level for first factor, number of level for second factor, number of level for third factor, and then correction factor can be computed by g square by n, and we prepare the analysis of variance table like this. Here replication R minus 1, variety V minus 1, fertilizer T minus 1, then variety into fertilizer V minus 1 into F minus 1, then pesticide P minus 1, variety into pesticide. So all these degrees of freedom, so means total treatment sum of squares is divided into variety, fertilizer, their interaction, pesticide, variety into pesticide interaction, fertilizer into pesticide interaction, then interaction of variety, fertilizer and pesticides. Of course, all we can compute the sum of squares, then mean squares can be obtained by dividing respective sum of square with respective degrees of freedom, and f can be computed with the help of error mean squares, EMS. So each ms or mean square is divided by error mean square to get f values. If this f found to be significant, then we will move further for computing the CD and comparing the means of different levels as we did in say two factor and so on and so on. So all the main effect and interactions are tested against error E using F-test with their respective degrees of freedom. 5% CD for any main effect of or interaction is given by this formula 2 EMS upon Ri star multiplied by T, where Ri star is the effective number of replication for that component and is equal to the divisor of respective component of SS in the ANOVA table. When you prepare the ANOVA table and compute the SS, then that is your R star. We can compare further P into V table, V into F table and F into P tables by computing their means, then take any two means, take their absolute difference. If that difference is greater than CD value, we declare these two levels differ significantly, otherwise they do not differ significantly. So thank you very much.